Philip, are you still with us?
No, Zen broke him. Zen, you broke him with that answer. It's over. Slap him back down in the audience.
No. There's a God. There's a God.
Incorporated. Okay.
So the God exists as a
I was like,
blockchain
what?
organism in the minds of its followers.
All right, Philip. Let's hear it.
Hi, fellas. How's everyone doing?
What's up, Philip?
Well, I just caught on the Civitar debate earlier, and I gotta say, this guy gave you a thorough whopping. Wouldn't you agree?
Wow, epic. Do you have any questions?
Here we go.
I'm going to my point now before you get upset. Why do you believe in God personally?
Because without God, there is no rationalizing the world around you, and all other. Hang on. Hey, do you want the answer, or are you just gonna act like Seventar? I'll just put you down to the audience.
Okay, you know what? I'll play ball.
Okay, so because without God, we've got no ability to rationalize the world around us. We've got no grounding for things like truth, morality, emotions, consciousness, anything metaphysical. There's no transcending that gap between the physical and the metaphysical, and ultimately all other worldviews fall flat in their foundations, and they are incoherent. So God, and the God of the Bible is the only one that provides for a coherent view of the world and the universe. And I'm done. You can respond.
Rachel, we already knew what this was going to be. So we buckle up. We go through the storm.
Philip, are you still with us?
No, Zen broke him. Zen, you broke him with that answer. It's over. Slap him back down in the audience. Are you alive, Philip?
I think the Abrahamic God punished me by just disabling my chat for a second there. Sorry about that, guys.
Boom. He's back.
Did you hear my answer?
Yeah, I did. So my question was, to restate my question, who told you to believe in God? I mean, why do you believe in God personally? Not
no, he wasn't kicked. He was just being
the rationale that you've chosen to believe now. But like, who told you? You know?
Yeah. So God, I believe in God because God has revealed it to me. He's revealed it to everybody, but he did so in a way by creating us in His own image and giving us some of His properties. Obviously, in our worldly sense, He gave us the ability to reason, to rationalize things, to observe the world around us and to make sense of it. And he did it in a way so that, and one of my favorite verses of the Bible that explains this is Romans chapter 1, where he did this in a way so that all of man is aware of God's existence, and we are without excuse to not acknowledge that. And to deny that is simply put just being intellectually dishonest. You're denying the only rational explanation for why we're here and why we're able to understand things.
Okay, I hear that from you, but I'm wondering, like, I'm asking for your testimonial, son. Tell me, who told you about God? How was He revealed to you? I want to hear that story.
Oh, you mean like who's taught? I've learned about God from all types of people. I mean, you guys have probably seen me in the chat. I don't really ever talk in Discord chats, but I'll spend time in like Darth Dawkins rooms. I've listened to a lot of Jay Dyer, Cy Tenberg, and Kate. Who else?
Well, I'll say this: you're really following in the footsteps of your hero, especially Darth Dawkins. You have the same.
Also, I saw Mr. Batman in the chat too. I listened to him a lot too. I kind of just take from a lot of people that debate apologetics. Matt Slick, I really like Matt Slick. But I don't necessarily like to. I don't want to be an imitator of any of those guys, of any one of those guys. I kind of just, like I said, I just take little bits and pieces from all of them. I know that Darth Dawkins gets a lot of his from Van Til and Greg Bonson.
Yeah, Zen's being a little modest. He also learns from this guy named Pedro. It's pretty cool.
Pedro actually, yeah, B-Hog here was a great influence on me too. Not gonna lie, he actually taught me a lot.
I think there's a lot of opinions on Darth Dawkins and Mr. Batman here. Not many of them really credit their sense of thinking. But anyway, can I give you a testimonial? I'm not a Christian.
Please do.
So yeah, I went to. My parents brought me over to some sort of Asian temple when I was a child to take a look see at what's happening, and I saw all their gods had armor and swords and spears, and some of them even shot laser beams out their nostrils. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then they brought me to a Catholic school, and I saw Jesus, and I was like, what the hell? This God is dead. He's not even good at anything. And I thought that's why it doesn't make sense to me.
It's gonna be
I thought, you know what? Other cultures have created much more awesome gods, and then I realized, it's all bullshit. there's always a money bag at the end of that line. So, well, Occam's razor, so to speak, right?
I disagree with that heavily. I mean, if you look at specifically the Christian faith, there's no money in this. I mean, some of the churches, like you could look at the like Joel Osteen or whatever his name is, or
How about
some
the
of these
Catholic
other
Church?
big. Well,
They got a lot
hang
of
on.
money
Some of
there,
these,
too.
hang on. Listen, dude. Listen. Some of these other big churches, they make
So
money
what
from
I would do
donations
here,
and
ladies
all
and
that.
gentlemen, specifically, is just start talking
It's
about the
nothing
difference
compared
between
to
the
the
abuse of a document
the
and the
religious
proper use of a
institutions,
document.
like for example, the
That's
porn
gonna be
industry,
pivotal here. He needs to do
which
that.
a true Christian would denounce and reject, but it's a $10 billion industry. Most of Hollywood is anti-religious or at least anti-Christian. Most of the music industry is anti-Christian. And if you make like if you look at somebody like Bryson Gray, for example, I'm not going to say he's a great rapper or whatever, but he's fundamentally conservative and he's always referencing God. He's always preaching God in his songs and his rap songs, but he's not popular. He doesn't make a lot of money doing it. But then you go look at, I don't know what his name is, like Lil Pump or somebody who just repeats the word Gucci Gang and gets 10 million views on YouTube. And
Well,
it's like,
can I interject?
Yeah, you can, but just to wrap it up, I'm saying like the ideas behind Christianity actually are not popular and they don't make you money. They actually steer you away from that. So, yeah.
Well, you've just pointed out a couple of institutions that make a lot of money. That's part of the Christian faith. Joel Osteen. You can disavow them all as much as you want, but if you ask him, he's a
Chickenfoot's in here.
And another guy who talks about God a lot, Kanye
Our
West,
boy.
also calls women gold diggers.
Okay, hang on a minute. Kanye West gives very vague generalizations about God. He just kind of says the word God a few times, and then he raps about like fucking strippers or something. So he's not not actually like.
What about great rapper and alphabet stranger, Jay-Z? He likes to talk about not all the time, and don't pretend you know who Jay-Z is. Come on.
Jay-Z?
I don't even know who Jay-Z is.
Well, that's how I say it. I'm from a better part of the world that speaks a better form of English.
I've never heard of Jay-Z unless you're talking about Jay-Z. I don't know.
Fine, I'll condescend you and call him Jay-Z. I thought you didn't like
it. Is Jay-Z.
Sure, Jay-Z. But here we go.
Jay-Z. Okay, what's your point?
Oh, Jay-Z.
My point is that
I never knew that was his nickname.
All you're saying is pretty arbitrary.
Learning,
and the fact is that Occam's razor. Look at it again. People make money. People make money by bullshitting. There you go. Christianity. Now you're trying to hold their water.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. You're effectively stating, foundationally, that Christianity is bullshit. That it's false. So what do you believe? Are you an atheist?
I believe the whole debate about religion is just a giant waste of time for young debate nerds. But
well, you've been engaging in it for the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, because
are you an atheist?
There's nothing to do. I am. I have been convinced otherwise, but I have been atheist most of my life.
Are you an atheist now?
Now I cannot believe in a universal God. A God of the.
So do I.
But I don't believe it as Yahweh, and I also believe in a different God. I believe in Here's my crazy theory. Since you let a guy talk about aliens in the last one, I'll talk about my crazy theory. I think that Christians have created a God. And this God creature is actually a superorganism, much like how cryptocurrency and blockchain links different computers together to create one goal. Christianity has linked the minds of all these foolish people to become one superorganism that moves forward in crusades and takes people over, and raises money, grows, modifies itself over time. So I think the God does exist, but it is the form of this overall
That's going through my head right now too. What exactly?
Okay.
What?
So which God do you believe in?
That God. I believe in that. I believe that God exists, but I'm not a proponent of that God.
So wait, you said you believe in the Christian God?
But I don't
Is that what you said?
I believe in the Christian Inc. God.
Okay, so what I'm hearing right now is you believe in the Christian God, you just don't like him.
No.
When you say Christian Inc., do you mean the Bible?
No, my friend. You're trying to do that thing. You know what I'm saying? You're doing that thing with Steve.
Okay.
No. There's a God. There's a God.
Incorporated. Okay.
So the God exists as a blockchain organism in the minds of its followers, right? So it's a superorganism, almost like a fungal infection, so to speak.
Okay, dude, are you?
I wouldn't say maybe not a God. It's a superorganism. Is a bigger term.
Answer this question. Did you take a hit of acid before you came up on the stage?
Well, if you take enough acid in life, sometimes you have a recurring effect, and I might have gone through some of that a while ago.
Alright.
But you know what? That's not the point of this discussion, my friend.
Uh-oh. Admission.
Well, I hope you can
Admission.
clear your mind. And
My mind is clear. Answer it. Do you not believe that that there is a superorganism created by the thoughts and actions of the followers of Christianity?
I think that
Superorganism.
there is one. If you're calling it a superorganism, I think there is one ultimate supreme being that reigns over all of creation and the entire universe, and that is the Christian God of the Bible. I don't believe in any superorganism.
Like all your reasons for believing that are arbitrary.
They're not arbitrary.
Completely arbitrary. You're basically
No.
But nothing
they're
would
not.
exist.
No, they're not. They're not arbitrary. If they were arbitrary, I would just be saying that I just made them up. These ideas that I've got, I got from the Bible, and the Bible is the true word of God, the written word of God.
So when I ask you this question is simply to demonstrate that the superorganism has taken over your statement.
Okay, how did you determine that?
Because you have said what every other Christian easily says.
Okay, it's almost like there's a universal truth that we're all appealing to, and it's not arbitrary.
Ooh,
yes,
there we
the
go.
buyers. But 1 + 1 is they'll all say 3. You know what I mean? You get my analogy.
So how did you determine that we're all incorrect and that your interpretation is correct?
Well, I'll tell you what, because I told you my testimonial where I walked into a church one day and saw your God defeated on a cross. Defeated.
That's great. Hang on. How? So when you falsify one proposition, in this case, we're talking about the God of the Bible and the truth value of Christianity, you have to present its negation that you're holding to. That would say this, that in virtue of what you're saying is true, Christianity is false. So what are you saying is true?
What I'm saying is true is that there's no such things as universal beings like gods. There are super beings of ideas, but there's no
universal being. There's no universal ultimacy of reality.
There, you drawn your subjects with this type of words, but it doesn't really mean anything. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm asking you. Is there a universal? Is there? Hang on, listen. When I say universal, I mean it applies to everything across all things, across all of existence. Is there a universal ultimacy of reality that all things derive from and depend upon?
At this point, none that we can point to. Could be, but we as people, thinking people, I would say, not the other type, have not been refined yet.
Okay, so by rejecting a universal ultimate, you forfeit your ability to ground your epistemology and how you determine things to be true by outright reject. Because listen, when we talk about knowledge and facts, in order to know something, you must have certainty with impossibility to the contrary. And if it's a fact, then there's going to be context surrounding it that can establish that fact to be a fact. But all of that context has its context as well, and you're gonna go down the line to the beginning, the original context, which in my case, I'm saying the ultimate foundational context of all facts of the universe and all truth of the universe is God. I've got my foundation. That's how I ground it. Whether you disagree with that or not, that's another story. But you need to but if you're outright saying there is no ultimate foundation of reality, you're saying there are no facts. There's no way to ground facts because there's no context.
My boy, you are doing the thing that everyone always does, which is to drown everyone in philosophy 101 lingo to hide the fact that you are doing something completely irrational. You are plugging in your power bar into itself and expecting power. It's a senseless argument.
No, I'm not doing that.
So he's drowning. He's admitted he's drowning. He doesn't know how to follow the argument.
Are you saying that I'm begging the question?
I'm saying that you are not answering your own question. You're believing.
Hang on. When you say I'm plugging the plug into the power strip, like that, I'm plugging the power strip into itself and expecting power, that would imply like circular reasoning, begging the question. Are you saying that's what I'm doing?
Well, I'll tell you what. You basically said the universe has an origin, and if I deny that the origin is God,
right here,
then I have no answer.
No.
Hard right now.
You didn't only deny that it's God. You denied that there's any foundation.
That's not true. I believe that there is a foundation, but we as humans have not discovered it.
Okay, you do. So you do believe in a foundation of the universe.
I believe that we'll be able to find it eventually, but I'm comfortable with not knowing at the moment.
Okay, so you
I
don't
have
know what the
faith.
foundation of the universe is.
Here's the thing: is a lot of you Christian folks, you are very
You just
pessimistic.
listen. You're trying to talk at me, and you're trying to talk. Hang on, you're trying to talk at me and tell me about what me and my people do or whatever. But that's not what I would like to engage in. I'd like you to have a back and forth where we're talking
First
to
of all,
each
let me
other.
apologize to you. Let me apologize to you formally.
Go drink some coffee, you whiny bitch. Get out of
here. Who wants to jump in? Philipofish. Let's let you hop in there. I see Armistari. I'll drop you in next. Philipofish, what's up?
Hey there, buddy. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
This guy doesn't sound like a douche.
I just want to give a shout out to yesterday's guy, Zen Shapiro. Got a thorough whacking by Sivatar and then by me. But hi, Zen.
Oh, not this fucking
Anyway,
idiot.
back to the point.